What's up, everybody, and welcome to another edition of High Mythology, the show where we get higher than Sasquatch titties and tell you guys silly stories from mythology and folklore.
Yeah, there are titties.
Yeah,
in this.
there will be titties.
Thank you, Daniel Day-Lewis.
Thank you, Daniel Day-Lewis. Yeah. Sitting in with us tonight is special guest star Daniel Day-Lewis. I'm happy to be here.
Thank you, Justin.
I'll drink your milkshake. Oh, well, thank you. I wasn't going to finish it. I'll drink it up.
Very nice.
Yeah. Something about shoes.
Oh, my. Are they blue and suede?
I'm a cobbler.
Blue
I'm an
suede
oil
shoes.
man.
Oh.
Well, thank you, Dan. Can I call you Dan?
I'm speechless, Dan. I have no
I'm
idea what to say.
Yeah. Oh, God.
My hair is looking lovely.
Last of the Mohicans.
Oh.
I don't know where that came from, but okay.
That movie definitely scared me a bit more than it should.
I know. You know what upsets me is I love Daniel Day-Lewis. Amazing actor. It upsets me that off of the head I can't remember any of his monologues or famous lines except for From There Will Be Blood. Which I know it's going to make people mad, but There Will Be Blood was like one of my least favorite Daniel Day-Lewis movies.
You may hate me more because I have not seen that one.
Well, we watched it and you fell asleep.
Yeah.
There wasn't blood. We were promised blood and it took 2.5 hours, Devin.
I remember you bitching about that.
Yeah, I thought there would be more blood, is all I'm saying.
It was PG-13.
Now, Gangs of New York could have been called There Will Be Blood and I would have been more satisfied.
This is true. That was a good movie.
Oh, yeah. So tonight we will be bringing you some legends and tales from the American West. Getting wild up in here. Getting all wiki wild, wiki
They're
wild,
pretty good.
wild
I'm
West.
pretty excited. They're very action-packed. I hope that you're on your toes, your seat, the edge of your seat.
Put your toes on the edge of your seat because shit's about
and
to get
remember
wild.
to sit back and laugh because sometimes Justin does have a good joke.
Sit back and laugh, but be on the edge of your seat with your toes.
Toes curled.
Toes curled. Curl your toes.
Oh, wiggle them up.
Wiggle those big toes.
Thank you.
Yeah. So I guess without further ado, Kimbo, why don't you go ahead and jump right into it with story number 1, The Great White Stallion of the West.
Fantastic. The Phantom Horse of Legends was known under many names. The Ghost Horse of the Plains, the Snow White Pacer, the Stallion of the Solitudes, the Deathless White Mustang, Gray Lightning, and Milk White Steed of the Prairies, and Equus Superbus, to mention only a few.
Only a few.
I know, right? Hunted by many, but never caught, the Great White Stallion became the symbol of men's yearning for the unattainable. As such, the Super Horse of the Rockies furnished the topic for innumerable related legends. The first rumor of the Phantom Horse to reach readers in the big eastern cities was contained in the passages of the Tour of the Prairies, Washington's ivering account of his 1832 trip to the Arkansas and the Cimarron Valley, stating, do we have that one? Do you have? No.
No. Is this George Washington?
We had been disappointed this day in our hopes of meeting with buffalo. But the sight of this wild horse had been a great novelty and gave a turn of the conversation of the camp for the evening. Yes. There was several anecdotes told of the famous gray horse, which has ranged the prairies of the neighborhood for about 6 or 7 years now, setting at not every attempt of the hunters to capture him. Nay. They say
when it comes to horses, I only say one thing. Nay.
They say he can pace or rack faster than the fleetest of horses can run. Thus was born the legend of the ghastly white, or the ghostly white, sometimes gray steed.
Sometimes gray. Occasionally milk white, but that's when John the milk drinker talks. Look at that milky horse over there.
When Don Francisco Coronado, so the legends have it, crossed the Rio Grande into the land of the Pueblo dwellers in the futile search of the fabled golden cities of Cibola.
Chibala.
One stallion and one mare broke loose from the expedition horses' herd and vanished into the wilderness. These two wonderful animals became the ancestor of the great white stallion of the West. This phantom steed was marvelous in every respect, gleaming white, almost iridescent.
White.
His silky coat shone like silver in the sunlight, dazzling
Looks
the
like
eyes
milk.
of the beholder.
It's Milk John over there.
Having a seizure, I just saw a white flash.
You drinking more milk in the sun again?
Noble was his delicately formed-headed, regal, and full of fire in his sparkling eyes. His beauty defied description. When in motion, the ripple of his powerful muscles was likened to the flow of the swiftly poured milk.
Information was taken from a guy called Milk John. He was just, it was like warm sheep's milk on a Texas July day.
So it was yellow.
Yeah. Oh, Milk John over there is going off about milk.
The white stallion moved with extraordinary grace, yet also the great force. His speed and endurance seemed supernatural, and he moved with a king's dignity, never at a trot or a gallop, but eternally, majestically pacing or ambling, full of disdain for the horses of his pursuers.
Somebody wants to fuck that.
That's
horse.
what I thought when I first read this, too.
Just no matter what he does, it's like he's not trying, but it's like he's not trying.
He's really talking about Steve down the road.
Yeah.
Full of disdain for all the horses of his pursuers, cantering after him at furious pace, stretched to the limit, their bellies almost touching the ground. That was some good weed earlier. No matter how fast, they could never catch up with him, as the white steed mockingly kept them at the same distance without ever breaking his stride.
Chase me.
He was the solitary ruler of the prairie, seldom glimpsed from afar. He was always alone. Scornful of the company of other horses, only once during his lifetime did he assemble a harem of sleek, untamed, never-roped mares to bequeath his seed to a new generation of star-bright Mustangs.
This is like one of those stories that's come up with around a fire, and it started off with someone making some shit up, and everyone's just bluffing over their shit. And he never once was with another steed. No, I saw him, and he had he was fucking 6 female horses, all at the same time.
Yeah, I mean...
What do you think, Milk John? He looked like milk.
Never caught, he seemed immortal.
Immortal. Yeah, I heard about that horse. He's immortal is what he told me.
Oh, it gets better. He was said to have the power to reproduce, to recreate himself in his exact likeness, grace, and strength, and only when a new great white stallion resembling him in every aspect was ready to take his place, would he consent to give up his ghost in a hidden, never to be discovered spot, perpetuating his own legend of eternal life.
He was cloning himself.
There were many...
Funny story, though.
Wow.
Wow.
Funny story.
Funny story is they were probably kind of on the money about that, because if he was an albino horse that they saw, and they're like, wow, all of his children are exact copies, and it's like, they're not. Just like, there's a 1 in 3 chance it's going to be an albino.
Right? Fiery red eyes, white. Yep, that's albino.
He's an albino horse, and he just keeps passing on those genes.
He's working the farm on another. Everyone's like, what the fuck are they talking about?
He looked like a cup of milk.
Thank you, Farmer Mel. There were many who hoped to conquer, possess, and ride the phantom horse, but all of them failed. The one who came closest was Don Alonso, a rich hacendado. Obsessed with the love of 4 fine horses. As well as for women's flesh. Wow.
Yeah, I like how they put those together. I would fuck any woman here, or possibly a horse if you have a horse.
Yearning to see Caballo Miraculoso tethered inside his corral, tamed and ready to submit to its rider. To catch the uncatchable, Don Alonso took 12 vaqueros with him, each with three vaqueros. There we go. Thank you.
Oh, caballero.
Each with 3 of the fleetest horses. Also his best roper and a marksman said to have the ability of caressing his elusive prey. That is, shooting at the great Mustang so that the bullet merely grazes the animal's neck closely to his spine, momentarily stunning and immobilizing him so that he could be approachable and lassoed.
Are you good at shooting stuff? No, but I will tickle you with my bullet.
Don Alonso promised 1,000 gold pieces to whoever could put the great white stallion in his power. The 12 vaqueros were born to the saddle, superb riders who lusted after their master's gold. Whenever one of the horses tired or driven to the very limit of endurance, they left it to die of exhaustion, switching to a fresh mount.
Ouch.
But effortlessly seemed to float phantom-like before them. The white steed outdistanced them, never letting the marksman come close enough to shoot, or the man with the riata close enough to rope him. But maddened with his obsession, Don Alonso would not give up. A year or two after every failure, he would call his best riders together again, and one day remembered him forever. He had it in his power to make his dreams come true. He came upon the great white stallion, not alone, as was his wont, but protected by his seraglio of mares against a pack of ravenous timber wolves. So these wolves are hopping at his bitches, and he's like,
I'll fight you.
Unmindful of the human predators, the stallion put himself between his mares and their attackers, darting lightning swift to every point of danger. With flashing eyes and the flaring nostrils, he struck again and again with his hooves, crushing to death one of the wolves after the other. Now and then one of the lobos managed to fasten his fangs into his flesh, reddening his neck and his flanks, but always he tossed it aside like shaft. Breaking its back with his whirling hooves, and after the last predator had been disposed of, the phantom horse neighed triumphantly, standing defiant, motionless as a statue, looking straight at Don Alonso, as if wishing to challenge him.
I challenge you, Don Alonso.
At this supreme moment, Don Alonso broke into tears, waving back his roper and his marksmen. He told his vaqueros,
This archangel of a horse, God has not meant him to be ridden by mortal man. Let us go. And no, you cannot milk him, Milk John. Oh, he looks like milk.
Don Alonso gravely doffed his sombrero, waving it high and saluting the phantom steed. The great white stallion neighed in reply, and some versions of this tale have a sad ending, and the noble steed is driven into the waterless desert. Weakened by thirst, he finds a new water hole and drinks it greedily, and as much as he can swallow. Heavy with liquid and therefore slowed down, the king of the Mustangs is finally caught and dragged into a corral from which there is no escape. With water, grass, and buckets of oats all around him, he refuses to eat or drink, preferring death to captivity. Untamed and unconquered, he dies on the 12th day.
Jesus.
The end.
Sorry. Yeah.
Those are the sadder endings. Sorry.
I like that, how they have the good ending and they're like, nah, but this is probably more realistically what happened. Yeah. Turns out he wasn't cloning himself, too, so that was just the end of him.
Sorry.
Oh, God.
This one's more interesting. It's got titties.
This one's got some titties. Woo!
Hey, if you like that story,
Or
make sure to subscribe.
make sure to subscribe. Moving on to our second story. The Call of the Wild. Not the Call of the Wild, but the Call of the Wild.
Another one.
A different one from the one that
there's many called the Call of the Wild, okay.
The Wild has called many times.
And there are many wild hunts, too. Okay, I would just have to state this.
Yeah. Uh-oh, ring, 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 ring. The Wild is calling.
Yes. An old legend circulating in the high countries of Montana tell of a band of gray wolves that were relentlessly and remorseless on the hunt for human babies. They ate the baby boys,
Jesus,
but the girl babies were carried off and raised along with their wolf cubs. There was a rancher and his wife, Zach and Betty, who were running cattle in the Beartooth Range. They had a tiny 1-year-old daughter named Angie, with nut brown curly hair, hazel eyes, and dimples. One moonless night, they were aroused by a frightful howling around the ranch house. Zach says,
"Wee, that howling's got me all aroused. I heard them's wolves they're after. Them's wolves. They're after the newborn calves, I guess. I think I'll get myself a new wolfskin rug."
He got his double-barrel shotgun down from the wall and made sure that it was loaded and went out into the night. It was so dark that he could not see anything at all. And now and then, for a fraction of a second only, had he momentarily glimpsed of a pair of wolf eyes reflecting the light in his window. But always the points of light disappeared before he could aim his gun. He felt himself surrounded by the snarling and growling pack, felt the wolves' bodies touching his own, and there was a snapping of teeth and sharp pain as the wolf fangs fastened upon a calf of his right leg.
Ow! Cut it out.
He tore himself loose and blindly fired one barrel. There was a howl of pain.
Stand your ground!
There was a howl of pain and followed by a whine and a whimper. Zach had enough. His feral foes did not act like normal wolves. They were somehow different, more like human friends.
I swear,
fiends.
one of them took my balls.
Zach felt their hot breath, heard their panting and slavering, and he fired a second barrel, not so much to hit the unseen brutes, but to scare them off. Then he ran back inside the house, slamming the door behind him. He heard them scratching and howling at the door and heard his child scream. Zach went into the bedroom, wiping the cold sweat from his brow, and he told his wife,
"I heard Angie crying. Maybe you should look in on her."
Betty says,
"She's teething. That's why, poor little thing."
She went into the small chamber next to the bedroom where they kept the crib. Zach heard his wife cry out in anguish. He rushed into the tiny room and found his wife sobbing as if her heart were about to break. The crib was empty and Angie was gone. The window had been left open to let the air in because the day had been hot and sultry. And once more, Zach loaded his shotgun and ran out into the night, gripping by fear as he remembered the rumors about demon wolves carrying away human babies.
America!
His teeth were chattering in spite of the heat, and he made out a light in the back in the bunkhouse. The cowhands there had been waked by the commotion, and there was nothing anyone could do in the inky, impenetrable blackness. There was an old hermit trapper living some 10 miles off, said to be a good tracker. He told Zach,
"Well, don't fret yourself. If she's alive, I'll get her for you. But you know, sometimes dead is better."
Zach, his cowpunchers, and the neighbors followed the old recluse to search the missing child. They found numerous wolf tracks, but they all led into the windswept wilderness of bare rocks in which the tracks petered out. The searchers returned with dogs and took up the scent. They followed the eager, yelping dogs to the rushing river. There, the dogs lost the scent. A single tuft of wolf hair caught in the thorn bush. Wow. I'm like, I was about to reread the same line over again. I was like, dee. was the only reward for their pains. Zach and his company scouring the whole country round about in ever widening circles, but all in vain. Angie was gone.
Y'all see my daughter? No, but I got some milk over here.
Damn it, John.
Damn it, Milk John, get out of here. I don't want you drinking milk in my barn in the middle of the night.
Years went by. Zach and Betty had other children, two twin boys. They had to console themselves with that, but the anguish and uncertainty over what had become of Angie gnawed at their innards and soured life for them. Wow. Hard time reading that one for some reason.
It felt sour.
Maybe if I open my eyes and not look so high.
You know what it is.
Thank you. Because nobody could see that your eyes were closed the whole time. But later there were rumors, strange, disturbing, and hard to believe. Now and then some lone line rider, prospector, or a Cheyenne Indian or two came out of the mountains saying that they had caught a glimpse of gray wolves in the distance, elusive shadows darting in and out of trees and boulders, their glowing eyes reflecting the setting sun. And among their pack, so they said, they had seen, or thought they had seen, a naked white girl with long brown hair. Such rumors grew more and more frequent. Zach told his wife.
Ooh, I don't believe any of it. It's a case of too much whiskey and a running mouth. I'm sure it's nothing but a heap of damn lies, but it keeps me awake at night. I can't rest till I find out for myself whether there's something to it or not.
Betty says,
she would be 15 by now.
This time, Zach hired an old Sioux Indian.
Just so it doesn't fit in with it. He's like, yeah, I think it was people lying, but maybe we should check it out. She would be 15 by now. I know, Betty, that's all you say anymore. She would be 15 by now.
Well, last year I said she'd be 14.
Yeah. Okay, Betty, I'm going out. Don't let Milk John in. He'll drink up all the milk.
Hey, Betty, you home?
Hey, Betty, you home? I got a hunkering for some milk.
This time, Zach hired an old Sioux Indian, a hunter, trapper, and Yuwipi man. Meaning someone who had the gift to find lost things. His name, strangely enough, was Wolf Running. The old man, looking more like a shriveled mummy than a human being, his face resembled an oversized, wrinkled walnut, wore a small rawhide bag around his neck. He explained,
Shaka, Manitou, Pichuta, wolf medicine, ja.
The old fellow came and went, and sometimes in the company with other elderly Sioux men. Frequently, he brought back a chunk of venison or maybe a foxskin. Whenever he heard a rumor that the naked girl had been seen at one or another place, the Yuwipi men went there to search. One day, he came back to Zach with a great state of excitement, waving his arms and mumbling and stammering, he said.
I saw the wind chinchilla without clothes. She sat on a stone, suckling a wolf pup. What did the milk look like? God damn it, John, get out of here. It was just moonlight, but I saw the wolves too. Then, suddenly, they were all gone.
At once, Zach got together some 24 riders, his own cowboys and others from nearby ranches. The old Indian led them to the spot where he had seen the naked girl. They brought a lamb with them for bait, tethering it to a tree, and then they waited. All of a sudden, the night's silence was shattered by the howls of wolves and the lamb's pitiful bleating. Some of the cowboys lit their torches in the flickering light. They saw that the wolves were huge and watched one of them drag the bleated lamb away. They also saw the girl, naked as a jaybird. Naked as a wee baby.
Naked as a wee baby.
Running with the wolves. long hair streaming behind her. And this time the searchers managed to hang on to their prey. Torches lighting their way, and dawn came, making their task easier. The girl flew before them like the will o' the wisp, almost as fast as the men's horses. On and on went the wild hunt. At last, one of the riders got his rope on the girl, jerking her off of her feet. Zach had not seen Angie since she was a baby, but he recognized her at once. The nut brown hair, the hazel eyes, those dimples. Zach cried out, "Angie!" and imagined he saw a flicker of remembrance in her eyes, but he was wrong. The wolf girl snarled and sank her teeth into the flesh of his palm. It took 2 men to pry her jaws apart, and they lifted her onto the horseback, her ankles tied by rope under the horse's belly, brought her to Zach's house, and locked her in the room.
I don't want her anymore. Y'all can have her back.
Betty wept and tried to caress her long-lost daughter, saying over and over again, "Angie,
She would be
Angie,
15 by now."
dear Angie. The girl glowering at her without understanding. Whenever Zach and Betty came into her room, Angie would cower in a corner in a state of rage and fear. Sometimes she attacked them with tooth and nail, and she accepted no food save for raw meat. She howled like a she-wolf, and sometimes, with the help of friends, they forced clothes upon her, but she tore them off as soon as she was alone.
Just gnawing at him like when you try to put a costume on a dog. Okay, I'll take a picture, but I'm not going to be happy.
Months passed, and Angie had calmed down. She no longer fought her parents or twin brothers. Why they would send the twin brothers in there is beyond me. She understood a few words.
I'm tired of being bit. God damn it, go tend to your sister. It's your turn to scoop up the poop.
Go lay some more papers down.
Go take her out on a walk. She needs to poop.
She no longer fought her parents or her twin brothers. She understood a few words and could speak some. And after a year, she no longer tore her clothes off. Titties just flopping around for a year.
just flopping.
She accepted and learned to like cooked food. A few months later, she joined the family at the table. She began playing with the twins and learned to ride, to sew, and to work at her spelling. At 18, she had become a ranch girl like her neighbors' daughters, and she made friends, went to dances and hoedowns.
Hoedown! Hootenanny! God damn it!
She met Bill, a rancher's son, a strapping, handsome lad. And he...
Oh, yeah, it was Jim who smells like the milk guy?
Yes, the milkman.
The milkman.
Bill the milkman.
Yeah, Bill is Jim's son, Milk Boy.
He and Angie took to a liking to each other, and they walked hand in hand, sat together on the swing that Zach had put on the porch. They touched and they kissed.
Hand stuff only.
Yep. Bill knew next to nothing about her past. Zach and Betty thought that the less he knew, the better. The wedding day was set, and a house was made ready to receive them. Angie looked radiant in her white wedding dress, and the young couple enjoyed the wedding feast. The fiddling and the dancing, and they laughed at seeing some of their friends get all tipsy. It became time for the guests to depart, and Bill carried his bride into the bedroom and sat her down. They embraced, and he said,
"I love you, Angie."
And she answered back, "I love you too, Bill." Sorry.
I love you too. Now drink your milk before it gets cold.
That's what your daddy always.
That's what your daddy.
Why don't
He's
you have
out
some
there
milk?
drunk on yak's milk.
Have you tried wolf milk?
Wolf milk.
Delicious.
Yeah. He's out there all hopped up on wolf's milk.
Give me that cow shit. Yeah. At the moment, there was an uproar outside, snarling and howling and furious barking of dogs. The neighing and stamping of horses, a heifier's desperate bellowing. Bill said,
I gotta go. I gotta go see what's going on up there. I think my dad might have had too much milk.
The young bride pleaded, "Please, Bill, don't leave me." But Bill insisted, saying,
I got to go. God damn it, it's my duty.
She said, "Don't be long, love. Just please don't be long."
Don't belong.
Outside, a life and death struggle was in process between the dogs and the wolves, and Bill found himself in the middle of a snarling pack, emptying his 6 gun at the indistinct ranging shapes, hoping to hit the wolves and not his dogs. Just as suddenly, all was quiet again.
America! Just standing at it.
I'm pretty sure that's just what
Lucky I
happened.
got this AR-15 for my wedding.
Oh, right, Jesus. Just as suddenly as all was quiet again. The wolves gone and the dogs whimpering, licking their wounds, and the heifer dead.
Oh, no.
Bill
Where will I
told-
get my milk from?
Bill told a few of the cowboys who had rushed to his help.
I've just got to. I'll be back soon.
I guess I didn't write, go get some sleep. Okay, I told him go get some sleep.
Go get some sleep.
He went back into the house, anxious to join his bride. When he re-entered his bedroom, Angie was gone. Her wedding gown lay crumpled on the floor, and a breeze blew through the open window, stirring up the curtains. Angie was never seen again.
Damn it, she left me for a wolf.
And that was
She
the
didn't
end.
even finish her milk.
End of the story. Thanks, Jim.
I'll finish it. That was pretty funny.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Like, they're exciting, are they not?
It was like it was basically a redneck jungle book.
This is how Mowgli should have turned
How
out.
Mowgli should turn.
Now he's like half fucking wolf, a quarter fucking Bagheera,
She
and
met
a fucking
she
quarter
met a
Baloo.
bear, and the bear taught her how to chew chewing tobacco and listen to conservative radio stations.
That's quite sad. All right, the next one's pretty short, though.
I like this one though. I like it. Wendigo, Wendigo.
It's just going to explain some stuff.
Go into the Wendigo.
The Wendigo is a fearful creature, the most horrible that ever was. To look at it is to go blind. To hear its unearthly growl is to become deaf.
Hello.
To get a whiff of its rank-ass odor is to lose one's sense of smell.
Sorry.
To come into bodily contact with it means becoming lame. But no one who is touched by the Wendigo survives longer than 7 days. The Wendigo has long, sharp teeth, but no jaws. It has eyes out of which shoot lightning, but it has no face. It has a shaggy fleece, but no body inside. It has no feet or paws, but large, terrible claws, like curved daggers. Ooh, that rhymed a lot.
Oh, yeah, it did. I see they're trying to kick some raps over here.
To cross its path is sure death, but its tracks are easily recognized because they're over 12 inches long. Mm-hmm. The Wendigo can be killed only one way. One must have a rifle made by a pious man who prayed over it for 3 times a day while working on it.
Oh.
Such a rifle must then be loaded with a silver bullet into which a sign of a cross has been scratched.
Wendigo.
The silver bullet has to be rammed down with a patch made from a page of the Bible. Not any page will serve, but only one with the Lord's Prayer on it.
Specific
The hunter must go to the church on Easter Day and recite a palm forward and backwards without making a single mistake. Then the hunter must go to a crossroad and be there at the stroke of 12 on moonlit night, in which case the Wendigo will appear.
Hey.
And if the hunter does not turn to stone with fright, and if his eyes do not fail him, and if his hand does not tremble with fear so that he can aim his weapon, then the hunter might, just might, succeed in killing the Wendigo.
Sounds like these things are pretty easy to put down.
But if the hunter does not do everything exactly as described, the Wendigo will eat him up in 3 bites. Just want you to know about that.
I like how specific they are. 3 bites, not 2, not 4.
Which then this opens up for our next story, because I wanted to explain this one to you, but first I wanted to explain the
We
Wendigo.
had to explain what a Wendigo. And I've always wanted to get into that too, because I do like one of the spookiest.
We don't talk about Wendigos.
Creatures. Wendigos are okay.
It's like the Bruno of monsters.
I thought it was the other ones, the
Fuck
SWs.
out of the way.
I think it was the SWs that we weren't supposed to talk about. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, that shit's close to here, so
Kim,
no.
Kim won't even let me watch SW Ranch.
Nowhere near me.
Yeah.
Please. That shit gives me the heebie-jeebies. No. I'm not okay with it. So this brings it to story 4.
A loop garoo or a Wendigo. Or maybe a carcajow. Carcajow. Carcajow? Crackahow? Cracker what?
Carcahow.
Carcahow.
Kakawao.
Ha.
Kakawao.
Carcajow.
Karkawa?
Carcajow.
I'm sorry. We got a diverse group of friends here in this
A
story.
loop garoo, a Wendigo, or a Chihuahua.
Or a Chihuahua. There we go. There was once a jolly garçon, a voyageur, by the name of Baptiste. A garçon is boy.
Yeah, garçon.
In 1825, he joined a party of fellow courtiers de bois as a trappier libre, a free trapper and mountain man, to go after the beaver.
Yeah, what are you boys looking for? Beaver. Except for old weird Jim over there. He's trying to get some milk. Yeah.
Being a half-breed, part French voyageur and part Chippewa, he was as much at home in the prairies of the far side of the Missouri as it was a catfish to the waters of the Big Muddy. Civilized was he not. He was not. This Baptiste, neither in his mind nor body. A fierce son of nature, he was a wolfish-looking cuss, and his face framed by a forest of unkempt black hair. His luxuriant beard covering almost all of his broad chest. And he had no need of possessions, save for what was needed to trap Frere Castor. He owned a shaggy, razor-blacked horse and a dog that was 3/4 wolf.
His horse had a beard, too.
He had a Hawkins rifle.
His horse had an epic beard.
So did his dog, right?
So did his dog, yeah.
A Hawkins rifle whose heavy ball could stop a charging buffalo bull in its tracks, powder, ball, and flint, a strike light, and a tinder box of sun-dried punk, a skinning knife, a twist of Verser, a fast-dwindling supply of whiskey, and most important, 5 heavy steel traps.
Okay, close inventory.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Shit. I don't know why they always explain all this shit. That was all except the tattered buckskin shirt and the leggings that he wore until they disintegrated from wear and tear. Baptiste was a solitary as a badger.
Imagine that they've already disintegrated down to Daisy Dukes. He's just a super hairy dude, big burly beard, low cut.
One of those stupid fucking half-cropped fucking hoodies.
Yeah, it's a crop top. He's got a crop top on.
We sell those too on Holly Boys, by the way. If you do.
A deep V.
We should make one. Baptiste was as solitary as a badger and as adverse to the company as a grizzly. In his vast domain, somewhere between the Palate and the medicine boughs, he lived like a hermit in caves, dugouts, or lean-tos. He thrived on whatever his Hawkins could bring down, and he was not choosy. Not picky eater at all.
From the sound of that cannon, he's scared. Whatever it could bring down, and it could bring down a tree. Yeah.
He devoured everything from gopher to buffalo. A lightly roasted rattlesnake was deemed a delicacy. Whatever ran, hopped, crawled, swam, or flew was très bon à manger, bagarre. Paintier meant
Just his whole character. The way he's described it, the only thing that doesn't fit to me is the French. It's like I'd be like, oh my god, it's a mountain man. Oui, oui, bonjour. Okay, I'm
Not everyone's
confused.
Gaston, dude.
Sacre bleu. What
Jesus.
is this?
What is these? Painter meat didn't shine, but he ate it anyway. A feast of bondiers. Boundins.
Boundins.
Buffalo intestines filled with delicacies, fermented grasses, roasted on a bed of hot embers was bliss.
Oh, that's some classy fucking sausage right there.
He fought Rees in the terrible
He is
Pied
French.
Wars and once argued over the fresh kill of a famished grizzly bear, winning the argument.
Sacre bleu.
For months at a time, he did not see another white man. His rutting season reoccurred every half year or so, usually coinciding with his rot gut and bracer running out.
Yeah, I know it's about time to go fuck because I started getting the shits yesterday.
Whenever that happened, Baptiste was seized by relentlessness, getting antsy, emerging from his lair like a hibernating beast, wild-eyed and gamey, setting out with his bundles of beaver plues, his hairy dollars, as he called them. Sorry.
Just a man like that walks up and down first, use some hairy dollars. You're instantly expecting moist bills to come out of that deep V in his shirt.
That's going to be
Just
disturbing
crumpled
as
up
fuck.
ones covered in chest hair. I've kept them here for months.
First, Baptiste made it to the nearest fort to haggle with the despised Bargeway.
Bargeway.
Clearly, I
Sure, flirt of
did not know that that's how it was spelled. I'm sorry. And I've read this before, so my bad. The trader in charge of the fort store, swapping pelts against a new 6-month supply of provisions, particularly fufara, such as beads, small mirrors, and vermilion paint to charm the willing squaw into shanking his blankets. Because you need to get that crimson paint to get them bitches. Just so you know.
Yeah. First we get the beaver pelts. Then we get the crimson paint.
Then we get the bitches.
Then we get
The barge's way always took outrageous advantages over Baptiste on the one plug, one plue system. That is, selling him a twist of Chawin bracer worth 2 bits for a $6 beaver plue.
Oh, you're fucking with the man's beaver right now.
Baptiste complained on these occasions, saying, "Font de grace, borog ziz is barangen. Vos es Roberts separatists. Vos take advantage de pauvre Baptiste."
Sacre bleu!
The usual answer was,
Wow! 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 That's the way the stick floats. Take it or leave it.
he took it. And he took it.
And he took it. He did.
The bargeways always got the better of the free trappers, with new supplies of whiskey and chewing tobacco, his possible bags and parfleches bulging with fufara. Pour le mot. Baptiste put the spurs to his old pony, making tracks for the big rendezvous on the Popoangi. Popoagi. On the way, a snake slithered across his path while a huge horned owl hooted at him. He muttered to himself, "Sacre bleu."
He said it. He said the thing.
It is a marvelous augur, a very bad sign.
Sacre bleu.
It does say that in here, yes. He crossed himself, spat 3 times over his left shoulder, and gave the evil eye sign to the unimpressed owl, because like his fellows, he was very superstitious. Arrived at the grand rendezvous des Trois Baptiste immediately sought out his vol compagnons, Antoine, a fellow voyager, Gouge-Eye Luke, a bevel man out of Kentucky.
Kentucky?
Kentucky. I guess so. And Igmu Tanka, the panther, a gigantic fellow, part Sioux and part Irishman. Well.
Well.
Antoine exclaimed.
Militaires, here is the man raising the demeure.
Gouge-Eye Luke chimed in, saying,
Hello, old house. This child is glad to see your ugly mug. Here, have a swig of my old housey.
Panther added,
Oh!
How?
Oh! I don't feel right saying that. Oh!
That's how you greet shit, man.
That's how you. Oh!
You're going to tell Hawaiians racist to say aloha?
Bruh.
Telling Italians racist to say ciao? Come on now.
I tried to say it with an Irish accent. How? Welcome to ye consecrated. You concerned, corn dodger? I thought you was rabbled out. Have ye some mini soda? Have some mini soda.
They had not seen each other for more than a year and enjoyed their rare get-togethers. Thus, the friends settled down to an orgy of drinking, fighting, gambling, and wenching. Wenching.
Did they finish with the circle jerk?
Yeah.
Quick, now that we're all back here together, let's form a Dutch catamaran.
Making up in 3 days for years of hardship and loneliness.
Yep, Dutch catamaran it is.
Gouge-eyed Luke remarked as Baptiste emerges wobbly from the teepee he shared with two dusky spostas.
Old house, there's a citizen over there bragging he can eat more boudins faster than any other mother's son. Why don't you take him up on it? That is very like, I'm a southern gentleman.
Baptiste says,
Qui? You Huckleberry.
That miserable bonjour was there? Parlez-vous, scalme tati, if it is not the vox sympa, Pierre Frozen toes. I shall beat a management les bondiers, I shall expect $10 upon it.
No one understood what you said.
Pierre says when challenged.
Wah! Baptiste, your cursed devil voice make $6. Here goes farther than meat, eh? I shake my finger at you when I talk in a very French way.
Let me light my candle.
Let me light my candle and get ready for some action.
Oui. Eager trappers place roughly 10 feet of coiled buffalo bones on a mound of hot ranked ashes after having tied up a strip of red trade cloth plumbed center on the sausage-like mess.
They are French because you can tell they get really into the... It's like when he was eating, it's like, what does he eat? He eats whatever he can find.
Where is my hollandaise sauce?
Maybe he makes some custom sausage out of buffalo meat and intestines with some fresh herbs,
Don't forget to garnish with parsley.
Slowly roasting bison steaks over a nice coal fire.
Baptiste says, Enfant de graisse, zut alors. Maintenant nous mangeons à la soupe. And then panthers shouted on the run to witness the fair.
Hire's brown skins are coming. Oh, hey, I'll probably be cancelled for saying that, I will. Especially in this horrible Irish accent. And I'll be dogged if I miss this.
You provoked. I thought for sure you would catch it.
Aye, right, nuts. Oh, now I'm down on my knees, picking clovers, waiting for me old ass to be walloped. Ooh.
I mean, I write the lines word for word for him. He definitely moves them more than you think.
There was one earlier where I just completely changed it because it was very
nope.
Peter Pan. Yeah, I started to read it and I was like, no.
I haven't had a very hard time keeping my eyes open. That was so funny. Antoine added,
Well, see, this child is betting on Batiste.
each contestant took an end to the Bowdens between his teeth, and in a signal from Gouge Eye Luke, started to wolf them down. And so began a mighty chewing and swallowing. Pierre had barely managed to get down a measly 2 feet when Baptiste had already passed the center knot and going strong. It's all in the jowls, man. You gotta
Baptiste
open up.
has a no gag reflex.
Open up the throat.
I've once seen him fit 3 sausages down his throat with nary a teeth mark.
After gobbling down another foot for good measure, he stopped, exclaiming, Moi, je suis le banquetier, by God. He accepted his prize, immediately converting the dollars into a keg of, quote, Injun whiskey.
Oh, damn. Hey.
I'm quoting the book.
I'm gonna whomp that one.
That's like old school whiskey.
That's original racism.
You can't find that shit anywhere anymore. Just want you to know.
That's turn of the 18th century level racist.
That's why I say I quote from the book. You got problems with it, speak to their manager.
Speak to the manager. Sacre bleu, Karen is coming. She wishes to see our manager. She is angry about the Irishman who said the brown skin thing.
Raw, red-eyed, spiced with 3 rattlesnake heads for flavor and a handful of gunpowder to give her a kick.
Hot damn, that's gonna get
That's
you
the whiskey.
fucked up right there.
Just so you know, that's what it was quoted as.
Yeah. Well, what'll happen if I drink it? Well, you might die, or you might go blind.
Or all of it.
But, like, what about the other option? No, you might die, or you might go blind.
You get both.
You'll definitely be drunk for the next week or so. And you'll be high on that gunpowder, too. So I hope you're prepared to literally shit fire.
The friends now went on a stupendous blowout, a frenzied bout from their teepees or bedrolls for another 3 days, coming to and getting cobwebs out of their heads for another day.
This is just the whole story so far is just about a bunch of mountain men throwing a multi-day rager. I thought I was gonna go somewhere else.
This is the Woodstock of 1832,
exactly.
sir.
Yeah.
That's only 4 people now, but
Oh, I have brought some mushrooms if someone wants to party.
sobered up somewhat, Baptiste explained, Diable, mes amis, I feel a little queer. Je t'affirme, I am wolfish for meat. My feet, they feel like a dancing, like a running, like a going on a place. I smell strong meat, by God. Something's powerful, mes amis. Something's poretu with a heap of big pelt. Ooh la la, I can smell them.
Ooh la la, they're hitting all of the refrigerator. Sacre bleu! Ooh la la!
Miss Peters, they are already beaten the rapper in. Je suis beswitched. Non nom du diable, je m'en vais. And with that, Baptiste ran off with the great leaps and bounds.
We need subtitles.
Diable, devil, missing me's. I feel faint.
I feel faint, like the devil's got his finger in my butt.
And he's hungry as fuck for meat.
Nope, that's just gouge-eyed Luke over there. He's still got a thumb up there.
And he's smelling meat. And so now he's got to chase after the meat.
Oh, Wendigo.
He says he's feeling bewitched. It's the devil.
It's the devil.
I'm bewitched.
I'm bewitched.
That's it. And then he runs off with great leaps and bounds.
Yeah.
Antoine says,
I should not have given him so much mushrooms.
Gouge Eye Luke says,
It's those Jesus. It's those Blackfoot devils. They've rubbed him out good at last.
What? You're so far down.
Am I? Where am I?
Yeah.
No, I'm not.
His gourd's out of whack.
His gourd, that boy's gourd's all out of whack. I'm just a fine Southern gentleman.
Panther says,
I gotta be careful now with me lines after that last one. They put me on the Twitter watch. Maybe a grizzly chewed him up. Maybe we should go find him. Get up, hip yo, let's go.
I didn't write Lelio Wertko out of his mind.
Nope.
He'll dry out.
He won't dry out.
He'll be back in no time.
He's not. I hope he will.
But Baptiste did not come back. 3 days passed and his friends grew uneasy. Antoine says, "What a busy matter, pauvre Baptiste."
What can be the matter be? Oh,
Like you scared
I
me.
did. I got way down the page. Boy, I see. This child is betting on Baptiste. Come on, Ufo. I see now. What can this matter be? Brother Baptiste, brother the terror. He is going on there. Oh.
Gouged Eye Luke says.
I ain't saying it again, damn it. They rubbed him out, those devils. I ain't saying which ones though, goddammit. I ain't getting canceled like
Panther says, we'll just skip. Panther says.
Well, maybe it was a grizzly chewed him up. We must go find him. Get up, hip yo, let's go.
So we just assume Gouge Eye Luke is definitely racist.
Oh, he's most definitely, as most Irish are.
Luckily, it had not rained, and the Panther was the best tracker on the plains. He had no trouble making out Baptiste's footprints on the account of the hole in his shoe of Baptiste's left moccasins. Moccasin. Wow. They tailed him for 7 miles and then noticed that Baptiste's tracks were followed by others, unnaturally large and unlike they had ever seen, halfway between the tracks of a huge bear and a catamount, but with 7 monstrous toes, or rather claws, on each paw. Antoine explained.
Flambe, souffle de French words, loup-garou de werewolf. Baptiste est perdu.
Antoine was shaking like an aspen tree. The Gouged Eye Luke said,
Well, holy mother of God, I'm mighty skeeted. This ain't the loup-garou, it's that cursed vomit the Wendigo. I can read his sign. It's right over there on the tree, and it says Wendigo.
He's also got one around his neck.
He's also got one hanging around his neck, a little name tag right on his shoulder, right on his cuff.
The Panther says,
Aye. It ain't the loup-garou, nor the Wendigo. It's the ghost caricature. It's the ghost chihuahua. The Wagny hoopatopata. Maybe even
Hoo-ha-toopa.
the Unkinkity. The great river monster that is. That's poor doing for sure. Hurry, boys, before it's too late.
They hastened on.
It's sounding more and more like a pirate. It's less and less Irish. Avast ye landlubbers.
I'm okay with it. We get it. After another 7 miles, they were terrified to see Baptiste's footprints changing, getting bigger, the toes coming out of the moccasins, 5 toes, 6 toes, 7 toes on each foot. changing into claws. Antoine cried.
Sacre bleu! Vite, vite, les lip bandit, noops, mups, flutus, le burgess making pervert, Baptiste into monster, like him says.
At last, the three friends came upon a horrid scene. They beheld Baptiste.
At this point, I'm just making up French sounding voices.
Oh, I can tell.
Flip de florp de beep de burp.
I made sure to write that perfectly for you.
Sacre bleu!
At last, the three friends came upon a horrid scene. They beheld Baptiste, who, from his waist down, had already changed into a loup-garou, complete with a bushy tail. Over poor voyageur towered a monster with a bestial body, the face of a man-devil, a tiger's fangs and wicked eyes glowing like coals. The infernal creature was howling and crackling frightfully, turning to the men's veins into ice. Antoine screamed,
Oh no, le loup-garou!
Gouged-eye Luke screams,
The Wendigo!
the panther screams,
The ghost chihuahua! Oh wait,
the ghost
it's the ghost chihuahua! I'm full pirate now.
Baptiste cries, Vintigo, loup-garou, what does it matter? Help-moi! Les mes instructeurs en going à terre.
Then Jim comes out of the woods and tries to milk him. I get some milk, goddammit.
Gouged-eye Luke yelled beside himself with fear, saying,
Boys, run for your lives. The dafty thing will get to you too.
Antoine cried,
No, Jesus a sinner, a fornicator, and no good drunkard, but once. Charters it for the priesthood, and I still have these.
and he drew from the bottom of his greasy buckskin shirt a silver cross, holding it aloft. Admonishing the werewolf, he said,
Apogee, Satanas, away with you, unclean demon, damned. Multiverse diable, allez enfants enfants, monstre frère, loup-garou, vamoose. He said vamoose. Vamoose, I say to you.
The monster bared its fangs, foamed at the mouth, snapped at the cross, and howled frightfully. But it retreated step by step, and Antoine now also produced a tattered Bible, somehow, from his possible bag, hitting the evil beast over the snout with both the cross and the good book.
Just like, bad werewolf, you are so bad. Go back to your cave.
I didn't have a newspaper. All I had was this book. This somewhat amateurish exorcism worked. The monster whimpered, and the light in its eyes dimmed. It cowered and retreated and finally fled with gigantic leaps, leaving only its ungodly sulphurous stank behind. Antoine says,
Victoire, nous semestre vert. Great adieu, Dule. Loup-garou has vanished. Il est disparu. I am so very fresh.
Gouge-eye Luke says,
Hurrah! The Wendigo is gone. Why, we spooked him for certain.
Panther shouted.
Wash tray! Arg! There goes Chihuahua. We hornswoggled him for sure.
Baptiste cries, La loup-garou, Wendigo, Cacaroum, they all be damned. Père bleu, je suis fatu. Look at me. And he hopped clumsily on his hair-covered wolf legs and said, Look at me, mes jambes, mes pieds. What jolie fille will give me the tumble now, eh? So
how am I to make sex with this wolf bottom?
Yes, a filet is a girl in French. A jolly filet. Antoine said,
Oh, il faut Pierre, I will blow you right now, and we can just go on our way. We must pray to God for all the saints.
Gouge-eyed Luke says,
Wow! Well, that's a way of getting out of a skunk hole, I'd say. I ain't done it for years, but this old coon is praying. God, Batiste himself got himself into quite a fix. Do something, please.
Panther phrase.
Arr, waka tonka, oh shakamaka. Baptiste here is in a bad way. Grandfather, pity him, I say.
This man does not know who he wants to be.
I don't know who I want to be.
Do you want to be Irish? Do you want to be a pirate?
I'm an Irish pirate. I'm Pirish.
I guess you're just an old country boy.
I'm Irish pirate.
Oh, God. Okay. Muttering incantation in French, English, and admittedly poor Latin, Antoine passed cross and Bible up and down Baptiste's animal legs, while Luke and Panther continued praying. And lo and behold, slowly before their eyes, the wolf legs became human again.
He's just caressing his inner thighs. Well, let's see if this works. Open up your pooper.
You got something else going.
Here comes the cross.
Baptiste jumped for joy and clicked his heels, but the very tips of his toes remained furry forever, and his nails resembled claws for the rest of his life. Baptiste's comment was, bien, it could have been worse. N'est-ce
It could have
pas?
been worse.
The
Now
end.
back to the Ranger, boys.
And that is the end.
That is the end. Yeah.
What do you think? Not too bad?
Not too bad.
All right. We'll bring you a couple
Yeah,
more good ones.
We're gonna have a part 2 of this for sure.
So I'm hoping you guys like
Yeah.
that shit for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Because it just gets better from there.
Remember hashtag cancel Dusty?
Mm-hmm.
No. Cancel, what was his name? Gouge-eyed Luke?
I know, right? Fuck.
Panther was just not sure of
We
his
need to
identity.
talk to HR about
We
this.
need to talk to HR. Yeah, we're going to run that up the ladder for you folks.
Yeah.
Hope you enjoyed.
Right?
Yeah, be sure to like, subscribe, follow, comment, share.
Yep.
Yeah.
I know they're racist. You don't have to comment.
You can let us know, though. I mean, it does help demographics.
Yeah, it does tell people. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
shit.
If you say
They do
words,
mention
people are
words.
like, well, I mean, algorithms are funny how they work.
It's true.
Because you can be like, this is garbage, or you can be like, this is amazing, or you can just be like, the letter A 13 times. And the algorithm sees it, and they're like, people are talking about this. We should get it out there.
See?
See, they're talking. Yeah.
God, just like my ads on my phone all the time, for real.
Yeah.
I know you were just on this website shopping, but here's some more
Here's
that
more
you've
butt plugs.
missed. What?
In all varieties and shapes and sizes.
Yeah.
Would you like a warm jug of sheep's milk?
How about cow's milk?
I want it.
What about goat milk?
Damn it, Milk Jim. Go get your son Milk Bill.
Have you tried cat milk?
Have you tried cat milk?
Horse milk.
I once tried to milk a Wendigo out in the woods.
We have
Turns
giraffe
out he was
milk
just a really hairy Frenchman.
and kangaroo milk.
Kangaroo.
Straightly imported.
Straight out of the pouch.
Straight into your mouth.
Straight into your mouth. Yeah, that's how you drink kangaroo milk. The only way to drink it is sitting in the pouch. Just popping your head out.
Mm-hmm. Put a straw in there.
Oh, that's some fresh, crikey, that's some fresh kangaroo milk.
Jesus. That's also a disturbing
That's
thought.
awesome. Hey, it's Milk Jim's Australian cousin.
Those are not like the kangaroo films that I watch on a regular basis.
Yeah, no, that doesn't happen in normal kangaroo films.
No, they usually take the cookie from the cookie jar.
They do.
They're the last ones.
Shiesty ass bastards.
Motherfuckers. First they blame penguin, then the
I
bear. No, just kidding. Sorry.
Yeah. Oh, well, yeah.
What?
Have a good night, everybody. And
Yes.
we will see you
Like,
folks next
subscribe,
week.
do
Yeah.
all that shit.
Do all
Twitter,
that shit. Twitter.
shirt, merch.
Get our merch. Yep.
Check that shit.
Check it out.
If you don't know it, find another another episode and listen to that too.
Teespring.com/high-mythology-merch.
All right, bye.
Boom. Bye.